Hi Gemini, welcome to your love reading for October 2019. Let's go ahead and see what is coming up in your love life for the month of October. The first card that you have, Gemini, is the Emperor. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for October. You have the Page of Rods. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for October. Seven of Rods. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for October, the Empress. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for October, Four of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for October, Queen of Pentacles. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for October, Two of Cups. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for October, the Ace of Swords. Love reading for the sign of Gemini for October. And you have the Tower. Okay, what's the most important thing that Gemini needs to hear about their love life for October 2019? The message that you have, Gemini, is the Queen of Cups. So this would be a water sign. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. This can represent your partner, an ex, or even somebody new coming into your life. So we'll come back to this card and see how it ties in with the rest of the reading. If you would like a private reading with me, I'll put a link down below to my website, channelguidance.com. I'll put it in the comments. So let's go ahead and take a look here and see what you have going on in your love life for the month of October. Let's start at the top. So you have the Emperor, the Page of Rods, and the Seven of Rods. So for some of you, you do have some communication coming in with the Page of Rods. This is always good news. Those of you who are maybe you're waiting to hear from an ex, or maybe you're waiting to hear something from a partner who's making a decision. I do see communication here. But you do have the Emperor on one side and the Seven of Rods on the other side. So for some of you, the Page of Wands also represents change. Maybe you want something to change in your relationship. Maybe you want more excitement. Maybe you don't like the path that your relationship is going down right now. I do see that you have to change something within your partner here. This isn't about changing them, but I feel like you need to get your point across. You have the Emperor here. The Emperor is saying you're going to have to really take control in the month of October. You're going to have to really be firm with the person that you love, because you do have the Seven of Wands, which usually does mean that you're being treated unfairly. To me, the Seven of Rods is kind of the same energy as the Justice card. There's something that is not fair to the sign of Gemini with the Seven of Rods. This means that you really have to speak up for yourself. For some of you, it could be, that there's a lot of arguments with the person that you love. Somebody's taking advantage of you. But I do feel that you have to really stand your ground. You have to be firm with this person. Otherwise, they're going to walk all over you. They're not going to treat you fairly. And for others, there's, some type of exciting communication coming in for you with the Page of Rods. Now, in the middle row here, you've got the Empress, the Four of Swords, and the Queen of Pentacles. So you do have an earth sign here, which would be Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. Again, this can be an ex coming back into your life. This can be your current partner, or even somebody new coming in for you. Now, you do have the Empress here. It's interesting that you have the Emperor and the Empress. So this is a couple. This is the energy of a strong couple, a couple who belongs together, especially it being the Emperor and the Empress, major arcana. This is kind of like twin flame energy. But there is perhaps, some space. Somebody could be asking for some space with the Four of Swords here. This could also represent healing, especially for those of you where you are involved with an earth sign. This can also represent your energy if you have a moon or rising in Taurus, Virgo, or Capricorn. I just see, the Empress represents the perfect relationship. This can represent someone that you see as a perfect partner. She also represents love and marriage. She is the whole package, yet there is hesitation here. There is hesitation with the Four of Swords. Again, somebody could be taking a step back from you. Somebody could be asking you for some time to figure things out. This is a really mental energy. So someone could be trying to figure out how they feel about you. That could be what we're seeing up here with the Emperor and the Seven of Rods, that maybe you need to be firm with someone who is kind of leading you on, giving you mixed signals. Maybe sometimes they're interested, sometimes they're not interested. I see, with the very first card, that you have to take charge of your love life because something is not fair to you. Maybe what is not fair is that somebody has kind of been backing away from you, asking you for some time to figure things out. Maybe you have given them enough time. Now, down here, and this did get my attention right away, you have the Two of Cups, which represents a soulmate connection. You have the Two of Cups here. And then right next to it, you have the Ace of Swords. Now, what got my attention about this, also the Tower. Someone could be changing their mind very unexpectedly. Just like that, they change their mind. That's what the Ace of Swords represents. Perhaps somebody's changing the way that they look at you, or maybe, you know, they're changing their perspective on love. But I feel like somebody is very unexpectedly changing their mind with the energy of the Tower. This is a surprise that comes out of nowhere. This is a sudden shift, a sudden change in this soulmate relationship from the Two of Cups. And again, with the Ace of Swords kind of in between them here, it just seems like somebody, I mean, just like that, they change their mind about you, or they change their mind about your relationship. Maybe somebody who had been backing away from you with this Four of Swords energy, asking you for some space. Again, something that was not fair to you with the Seven of Rods. You are being told that you have to take your power back. You have to stay in control. You do have something here very significant with the Empress. This could be a long-term relationship. You could view this person as the ideal partner. But again, it's like this person has been backing away from you. But in the month of October, they could very suddenly change their mind, with the Tower being next to the Ace of Swords. Okay, so let's get a few more cards and let's see what other messages come up for you. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for October 2019? You have the World. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for October? You have the High Priest, which is actually the Hierophant. And you have the Three of Pentacles. Okay, so the World is saying that it's definitely time for a new chapter for the sign of Gemini. Maybe, you know, this time of really, you know, fighting for yourself and struggling in a relationship, that time is over. And it can be, again, it can be because somebody is suddenly changing their mind. Maybe somebody had been going back and forth on commitment. Maybe they didn't know if they wanted to be with you. There is an energy here of a new chapter in your life starting, a new chapter in your love life. And then with the Hierophant here, which can represent the sign of Taurus, this is, you know, a card of kindred spirits and soulmate. So as it is, you already have the Empress there, which means that you feel somebody in your life is the perfect person for you. This is like your dream partner, your dream relationship. Although, you know, perhaps this person has been backing away from you, I see that you're willing to do anything. You've got the Three of Pentacles. This is someone that will do whatever it takes to make a relationship work, or to get somebody back, or to get someone to notice you. And you have this kind of soulmate connection here, but you also have it here with the Two of Cups. So you do have a strong connection to either an earth sign with the Queen of Pentacles, and for others it can be with a water sign, because the Queen of Cups is actually the main energy. This can also represent you. Perhaps, you know, maybe you don't have any water in your chart, but the Queen of Cups can represent a very kind of emotional energy. Perhaps you're feeling very emotional because someone is treating you very unfairly, someone's backing away from you. Again, I just see you going out of your way, doing everything that you can to make a relationship work. Okay, so let's go ahead and get a few more cards from the confirmation deck. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for October? You've got the Star. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for October? King of Swords. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for October? Interesting. Queen of Swords. What's the most important thing that Gemini needs to hear for October 2019? Three of Swords. So for some of you, perhaps you're getting over a breakup. Maybe you've just been through a breakup, or you're fearing a separation from someone that you love. The Three of Swords does represent heartache. Or perhaps, again, there's a lot of conflict in your current relationship, which is what I see right here and even right here. Now, what's interesting is that you've got the King and the Queen of Swords right next to each other. I mean, you are the King of Swords because you're an air sign, but if you also have a partner or an ex or someone that you're interested in who's also either a Gemini, a Libra, or an Aquarius, then this represents their energy. It could also be that you've come up here really strong because there's something that you have to do. I mean, the very first card for you was the Emperor. The Emperor is all about taking back your power, being in control, and again, your energy is strong for the month of October. I feel like you can make something happen here. You've got the Star. This can represent the sign of Aquarius, but I mean, to me, the Star represents manifesting your hopes and wishes, trusting your inner guidance. So I feel like, you know, with some effort, and I do see that you're willing to do anything with the Three of Pentacles, you can make a wish come true, as far as maybe, you know, this person that you see as the ideal partner, the perfect relationship, somebody maybe who has been treating you unfairly, someone who's been backing away from you. I do feel like there's something that the sign of Gemini can do to kind of, you know, to help this relationship move to the next chapter with the world being here. You do have that really strong soulmate connection with the soulmate card and the Hierophant. And again, for some of you, you may not have to do much, because it can be that this person just all of a sudden changes their mind with the Ace of Swords and the Tower. Okay, so let's go ahead and move on to the X spread. Okay, so let's go ahead and see what's going on between Gemini and their ex for the month of October. And as always, this can be someone that you had a long-term committed relationship with, but it can even be someone that you just dated a few times and you wouldn't know if you're going to hear from them again. Okay, show me the energies between Gemini and their ex for October 2019. The first card you have, Gemini, is the Seven of Swords. Gemini and their ex for October 2019. Seven of Wands. Gemini and their ex for October. The Fool. Gemini and their ex for October 2019. Knight of Swords. Gemini and their ex for October. Five of Swords. Gemini and their ex for October. Ten of Cups. Gemini and their ex for October 2019. Six of Cups. Gemini and their ex for October. King of Cups. Gemini and their ex for October. And the Eight of Swords. I do feel like you have to be careful around your ex. The reason that I say that is because you've got the Seven of Swords and the Five of Swords. And both of these cards can represent someone who is very, very capable of deceit. And I did look at your reading for the month of September, and I noticed that you had the Moon, which represents deceit, and then you had the Page of Swords, which represents honesty. So I feel like for those of you where you're dealing with an ex, especially if there was deceit, maybe that's why you broke up, I feel like you have to be careful taking this person back, because you do have the Fool, which represents a new beginning. So there is a chance for the sign of Gemini to reunite with this ex, although you're taking a giant risk with it being the Fool. This is a very risky new beginning that perhaps it will work, perhaps it won't. But again, with this here and this here, you want to be careful that this person, you want to make sure that they have changed, because this is some weird energy of perhaps someone who is not who you think they are or who you want them to be. Someone who is capable of stabbing you in the back. I mean, I hate to say that, but that's what I see in the cards. Now, with the Seven of Swords, I mean, it can be that maybe you are in denial about this person. It can be maybe that you don't want to see certain things about them or their behavior. You've got the Seven of Wands here, which means that maybe you did have this card. Actually, you had this card in the first spread that I did for you. So it could be that maybe you have to be firm with this person if you're going to take them back, because the Seven of Wands is confrontational energy. You have to lay down the law. You have to be firm. You have to speak your truth. Like, you lied to me. I need to be sure about you. I feel like you don't want to kind of close your eyes. The Seven of Swords and the Seven of Wands. You don't want to close your eyes to maybe what happened in the past, what this person is capable of, any suspicions you might have. You want to make sure that those are not actually true, because the Five of Swords can represent sabotage, betrayal. This is just negative energy. This is one of my least favorite cards. So I feel like as far as you and your ex, Gemini, I mean, there's a lot of unpredictable energy. You have the Knight of Swords. I feel like things can change very quickly with your ex, because you did have the Tower in the first spread as well, and the Knight of Swords is a lot like the Tower. Things can change very unexpectedly. That's why I'm saying be careful, because you do have a new beginning lined up with a happily ever after, which means that you actually could reunite. Even if you broke up under the most terrible of circumstances, like they lied to you, they betrayed you, I see them kind of coming back here. The Fool and the Ten of Cups, maybe asking for a second chance. Also, you've got the Six of Cups, which means that this person is still thinking of you. For me, when the Six of Cups comes up in the X spread, this means that the past is still with them. The memories are still with them. The feelings are still there. The past will be revisiting you. You've got the King of Cups here, which is interesting because the main energy from the first spread was the Queen of Cups. So if your ex is a water sign, this is really speaking to you. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. It can also represent you, but if you have no water in your chart, and neither do they, there's just a lot of emotion. Six of Cups and the King of Cups. There's a lot of emotion between you and this person. You also have the Eight of Swords, which means that this person may have trouble kind of finding their way back to you. The Eight of Swords is being kind of consumed by fear, trapped by fear, maybe not knowing how to move forward. I do feel like for some of you, this is you. It's kind of interesting that you started with the Seven of Swords and you end with the Eight of Swords. I do feel like for some of you, like you don't know if you can trust this person, because I mean there is major red flag energy in this reading. 7 and 5 of Swords. You may feel kind of hopeless here, like you don't know how to change the situation, you don't know how to trust them again. But I also feel like for some of you, they may feel this way. They don't know how to move forward in a relationship with you. They don't know maybe how to return, although there is very unpredictable energy with the Knight of Swords. Okay, so let me get a few more cards and let's see what else comes up for you and your ex. Gemini and their ex for October 2019. Look at this, the Tower has come up again. Gemini and their ex for October. Gemini and their ex for October. Yeah, I mean, there's a chance here for the unexpected. Be surprised. I mean, you could be very surprised by the return of an ex. You've got the Chariot, which means there's a lot of movement. There's a lot of changes around a relationship with an ex, or maybe you've done everything that you can. You did have the Three of Pentacles in the first spread. Now you have the Eight of Pentacles. There is a relationship with your ex where maybe you've put in a lot of work and effort. You've invested a lot of time in this person, in this relationship. And I definitely see a change here. You've got two major arcanas around the Eight of Pentacles. Again, surprises. And it can be that your ex changes their mind. Because, I mean, I saw that in the first spread. If you go back and watch, and it's in the very bottom row. The Two of Cups, the soulmate card, the Ace of Swords, and the Tower. Just completely out of the blue, they could change their mind about you or about wanting to be separated. So surprises, the unexpected. In a relationship you've invested a lot of time in, and then you have the Chariot, just victory. You can succeed in having this person back. But again, be careful. Make sure that they actually have changed. 7 of Swords, 5 of Swords, and the 7 of Wands. Okay, so let me get a few more cards from the confirmation deck, and let's see what else comes up there. What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini for October 2018? What other messages are there for the sign of Gemini about their ex? October 2018. Gemini and their ex. Gemini and their ex for October 2018. Gemini and their ex for October 2018. Okay, let's see what comes up from this deck. Gemini and their ex for October. 9 of Swords. Gemini and their ex for October. King of Wands. Gemini and their ex for October. And the Two of Wands. So some of you, you may have to wait for some of this to actually manifest, because you've got the 9 of Swords with the Two of Wands, which means that you could be waiting. The Two of Wands is all about delays and waiting. You could be waiting for this person to take action or to communicate with you because they are afraid. The 9 of Swords, the Nightmare card, agonizing over contacting you, or agonizing over asking for a second chance. Or it could be that you're also agonizing, as far as have they truly changed. Again, be careful with that. 7 of Swords and 5 of Swords. For some of you, this could be with a fire sign, because you've got the King of Wands. Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius. Male or female, sun, moon, or rising. It could even be you if you have a moon or rising and a fire sign. I just see, there's an energy here of a person who's very strong. You did have the Emperor in the first spread. It could be your energy. Even if you don't have fire in your chart, it could be that you have to kind of be in control with this person. Because with the 7 of Wands energy, which is a repeat card because it was in the first spread, if you go back and look, this card only comes up when someone is not treating you fairly, when somebody is walking all over you. And again, combined with the 7 and the 5 of Swords, you don't want to be trapped in a relationship for a second time where you're being treated unfairly, where there's deceit, and where there's sabotage. Okay, let's go ahead and move on to the partner spread. Okay, Gemini, let's get into the partner spread. And I'm pretty sure this is the first time that I've done this spread for you in the past few months. I do it for some of the other signs, I think for the month of September, but I don't think I did it for you. This deck is going to represent you, And this deck is going to represent the person that you love, whether this is your ex or your current partner, or maybe someone that you're just interested in. And we're just going to see if you're on the same page. Do you want the same things? What are they thinking about? As opposed to what you're thinking about and what you want. Okay, so again, this represents your energy. I've already shuffled it, so let's begin. Show me the sign of Gemini for October 2019. What do they want from the person that they love? You've got the World. Show me the sign of Gemini for October 2019. What do they want from the person that they love? Show me the sign of Gemini. What do they want from the person that they love? Show me the sign of Gemini for October 2019. What do they want from the person they love? The Nine of Swords. Show me the sign of Gemini for October 2019. Queen of Wands. Show me the sign of Gemini. What do they want from the person that they love for October 2019? Interesting. You keep getting this water sign energy. It's come up in every spread that I've done for you. So there is kind of water sign energy. Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at the person that you love using this deck right here. Let me just move you this way. Show me the person that Gemini loves. What do they want? How do they feel about Gemini? Queen of Wands. Show me the person that Gemini loves. What do they want from the sign of Gemini? What are their feelings? Two of Coins. Show me the person that Gemini loves. What do they want from the sign of Gemini? Five of Coins. Show me the person that Gemini loves. What do they want from the sign of Gemini? The Fool. Show me the person that Gemini loves. What do they want? How are they feeling about the sign of Gemini? The Five of Swords. Show me the person that Gemini loves. How do they feel? What do they want? And the Ace of Cups. So this is pretty eye-opening, the fact that, I mean, I've done so many spreads for you, and this card keeps coming up. The Queen of Cups, so water sign energy, and also kind of fire sign energy. So I feel, I mean, this is on your side. This is all you. And this is the person that you love. So I feel like, I mean, if you don't have a moon or rising in a water sign, I feel like the sign of Gemini is in a very emotional place. It's not just the Queen of Cups. You also have the Seven of Cups, which means that you're highly confused in the month of October. You're highly confused about where you stand with the person that you love. Let's focus on you first, and then we'll move over to the person that you love. So let's focus on these 6 cards. So, I mean, I feel here that you're ready for change. You want things to change. That is what the World is doing here as the first card. You're ready for the next chapter in your relationship or in your marriage, or maybe you want to start a new chapter with the person that you love. You want to turn the page. I feel like you don't like the page that you're on right now. It's too difficult. It's very emotional. It's causing you a lot of stress with the Nine of Swords. Again, and I see you being very, very emotional. Seven of Cups and Queen of Cups. I mean, I feel like the sign of Gemini is kind of emotionally scattered in the month of October. I feel like either you're trying to keep a marriage intact with the Four of Wands, or you're trying to hold on to a relationship where you felt this was going to be your life partner, or you felt like this relationship was really stable. This was the one. Because the Four of Wands is, this is something that is solid. This is something that can withstand any problems, any challenges, yet there's a whole lot of confusion around it. I also see you highly stressed here with the Nine of Swords. This is a nightmare card. I see that you're afraid of something. You're afraid of losing this person. I feel like there's, kind of a lot of negative thoughts around the sign of Gemini, because this is kind of imagining and focusing on the worst possible scenario. Some of you could be fearing that your partner is cheating on you. I mean, you've got 2 people here who are technically not you. A fire sign and a water sign. Again, Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, Cancer, Scorpio, or Pisces. These could be, it's a general reading, so I try to go over all the possibilities. These could be people interfering in your relationship. This could be people maybe that are giving you bad advice, or someone who's kind of working against your relationship. Because technically I do see a lot of stress here, a lot of agonizing around a fire sign and a water sign. But again, some of you, because you have the Seven of Cups, you could be very confused in a very emotional place. Also, because it's the Seven of Cups, this could have something to do with a choice. You could be choosing between two different partners. Yeah, it could be a fire sign and a water sign, because a water sign has come up in every spread that I've done for you. I feel you could be really lost and just kind of really scattered over what to do, a decision maybe that you have to make about the person that you love. Okay, so now let's look at them, and then we'll look at you again, see how it compares. Okay, so this is the person that you love. Now, if they are a fire sign, here we go. I mean, you both have the Queen of Wands. This is Aries, Leo, or Sagittarius, male or female, sun, moon, or rising. It very well could be their energy because it's the first card. Or it could just be the energy that they're in. This is someone who's very outspoken, very self-confident, very fiery, goes after what they want. But that's kind of not what I see here, and here. I mean, I do feel like the person that you love, I mean, you've got a choice here. Let me see if you can see it. You've got some type of choice in the month of October, but they do as well. Like, you guys are deciding maybe if you're going to stay together. I mean, I see you agonizing here, but they're not exactly in a good place either. Because, I mean, they've got the 5 of Coins, which means that the person that you love is suffering. They're lonely. And again, it's going to be for different reasons for everyone, because this is a general reading. I see this person kind of, suffering in silence, feeling really lonely. Maybe they feel disconnected from you. Maybe that's what's creating, all this stress for you. There could be just a lot of confusion for you and for the person that you love. I see them kind of very lonely and disconnected. Also, with this 2 of Coins energy, there could be a choice that they need to make. But, I mean, the fact that you've got the 2 of Coins lined up with the 5 of Swords, again, this is a, kind of a tricky energy. And this did come up for you in the X spread, if you go back and watch. For those of you where the person that you love has kind of lied to you in the past, I feel like you need to be careful, because the 2 of Coins does represent wishy-washy behavior. It could be that this person is very undecided about, what they want from you. They could be changing their mind constantly, going back and forth, back and forth. It could be, why you're confused as well. You're confused over choices, and, maybe why you're agonizing over the outcome, and you're ready for a new chapter with this person. I mean, I feel they also want a new beginning. I mean, they've got the Fool here, which is a major arcana of new beginnings and, taking a giant leap of faith. Yeah, I just feel like you need to be careful with this person that you're focusing on. Because, yes, they have 2 new beginnings here. They've got the Ace of Cups, which is a new beginning. Maybe you're giving them a second chance, or they're giving you a second chance. There are new beginnings here. But look what is right in the center. A bad decision. So, I mean, this also represents sabotage, and it could be that maybe if you, don't get mad, but it could be that if you give this person, they could be focusing on a new beginning. Like, please, give me a second chance. You did have the 7 of Wands 2 times in the first spread, and then in the X spread. Maybe they've been unfair to you. Maybe they've just, they've done you wrong. Maybe I see them kind of asking for a new beginning here, a second chance. And it could be, that this person could mess up again, because the 5 of Swords this represents someone who makes just the worst possible decisions. The worst. They ruin everything. I mean, I hate to say that, but that is the meaning of the 5 of Swords. It's negative energy. It's someone who sabotages second chances. I mean, here we go. The Fool and the Ace of Cups. So I feel like you need to be careful around the person that you love. I do see them being unhappy here with the 5 of Coins. I see them being lonely, suffering. I feel like, there's kind of unstable energy around this person. And I do see that they want a new beginning, the Fool and the Ace of Cups. But it could be maybe this person is not worthy, or you have to be careful, because this person is capable of repeating the past. Again, if you go back and you watch the X spread, 5 and 7 of Swords, and the 7 of Wands in the first spread and in the X spread, this person could take advantage of you. That is why if you go back and you watch the first spread, this is why I'm doing so many spreads now. If you go back and watch the very first spread that I did, the Emperor was the first card, which means you have to take your power back from this person here. Otherwise, if you give them a second chance, or maybe this is not their second chance, maybe this is their 3rd chance or 4th chance, be careful, because this person just makes bad decisions. It could be that they're genuine about wanting a new beginning from you, but they're very unstable here. It's not that they don't love you, but it's just that they could be changing their mind very quickly, which actually that did come up as well. But I feel like for those of you where that applies. It's because someone could be changing their mind as far as like wanting to be with you when they had said they wanted to break up. But this is unstable energy. This represents someone who is just wishy-washy. They're all over the place. They're scattered. There's ups and downs. But again, I feel like the person that you love is focusing on a new beginning. But for some reason, I see you highly stressed. Just kind of looking at you again. Highly stressed, very emotional. That could be why the Queen of Cups is here. I feel like, you want this back. You want stability, because that is what this card represents. Stability, a firm foundation. What is on their side, they've got instability. So it could be that this person truly needs to change. That could be why the Four of Swords was right in the center of the first spread, where they need some time to think, maybe before, they're ready to move on to the next chapter in your relationship. I see you kind of stressing about them here, confused. I just feel like you need to be careful around this person. I feel like you need to be sure, if you're giving them a second chance in the month of October, make sure that they really have changed. Ask lots of questions and be sure that they are kind of ready for this new beginning that they're asking for. Okay, Gemini, this has been your love reading for October 2019. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll speak to you again next month.